that I don't care is because everybody has an opinion, number one. Number two, I get paid for mine. Number three, and most importantly, it's my opinion based on the facts as presented. I'm not getting personal. I'm not deriding or denigrating anybody. I'm just calling it like I see it when asked or when it's part of my job.
Who did you have winning?
I personally thought Manny put it out, and I feel like he deserved a win.
From fighters and their trajectory and their potential earning power. So I'm always like, the judges need to get it right in every scenario.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios ended in a majority draw, and the boxing world hasn't stopped buzzing since. Everyone has an opinion, but ESPN's Stephen A. Smith made his loud and clear: Pacquiao won. "I'm not getting personal," he said. "I'm just calling it like I see it, based on the facts." In Smith's view, Manny outboxed Barrios, dictated the pace, and did enough to earn the victory. And he wasn't alone. Manny's brother, Bobby Pacquiao, also
won. Why do you think the judges saw it the other way for the draw?
I'm long time. I'm a fighter also. I'm a fighter. 14 years in the ring, 14 years in the ring. But I know the score. You know the score. So many judges, but I'm surprised that the decision is like that. I'm surprised. But anyway, the judges and the decision is now. Let's accept. I will accept that decision.
Do you want to see your brother keep fighting?
Right now, just focus with family.
also expressed disbelief. A former fighter himself, Bobby questioned what the judges were seeing and admitted he was surprised by the outcome. Though disappointed, he said the decision had to be accepted, even if it didn't feel fair. Young boxing prospect Kermel Moton agreed, "I actually thought Manny won the fight." Like many fans and analysts, Moton saw Pacquiao outpoint Barrios. But he also acknowledged that the draw made a rematch unlikely, a frustrating reality for those hoping to see the legendary comeback story completed. Another ringside voice, rising fighter Kamel Mo, praised
Pro boxing fans here with Kamel Mo and Kamel. Just seen a draw between Pacquiao and Barrios tonight. What do you think?
It was a great fight, and Pacquiao put on a hell of a performance, and much respect to Barrios as well. It takes two to tango, so it's just an overall great fight.
Who did you have winning?
I personally thought Manny put it out, and I feel like he deserved a win. But it's boxing, and I'm not mad at a draw either.
Do you want to see a rematch, or do you think they should both fight other people?
I don't think I want to see a rematch. Manny did. It was a great fight. I think we should just leave it at that. I would like to see Pacquiao and Mayweather too. That's really the fight I want to see. And
Kamel on the undercard.
Definitely, absolutely. That would be a huge card.
What do you think of Barrios in there tonight?
I don't know. I think Pacquiao's style was kind of throwing him off. I've had a lot of very skilled fighters.
both men, but leaned toward Pacquiao. "I feel like he deserved the win." When asked about a rematch, he wasn't interested. Instead, he dropped a bombshell wish list. He wants Pacquiao versus Mayweather too. Technically speaking, Manny
Pacquiao last night was not a great fighter in his prime. He was a great fighter who was just a good fighter who was still a better fighter than the world champion at the time. He was so great in his prime that when he came down levels to being good, he's still better than the good ones. He's still the goodest. That's what you saw. And the fact that when he was fighting in his era, his rivals were also watching that car go by every 3 or 4 months, 2 times a year at 200 miles an hour and catching more glimpses of it. But these young fighters, they ain't been watching that, bro. Even if they're watching it, they're not living it. They're not studying it. They're worried about their contemporaries and rivals. So for him, this was like, what is Barrios? What is going on? The amount of adjustments that he needed to make, the southpaw, the in and out, the awkward angles, the underneath right jab, like all of this shit is like, wait a minute, what is going on here? And that was a lesson for a young fighter that really he had a privilege to learn. He got a gift last night. Barrios will be better from this fight forward than he would ever have been without it. Let me tell you that. This is what happens when you have a phenomenal, unique, absolute anomaly in the sport. That's what Pacquiao is. That's what he proved last night. I'm always the guy who decries when someone is robbed and when the fighter who should have his hand raised doesn't get it raised, and it's a crime to me to steal these from fighters and their trajectory and their potential earning power. So I'm always like, the judges need to get it right in every scenario.
Pacquiao did what most thought was impossible. At 46, he moved better than anyone expected. His legendary in-and-out footwork, southpaw angles, and combination punching through Barrios off rhythm. Even though age had dulled some of his speed, his ring IQ and timing were intact, and his heart never wavered. Analysts echoed this. One explained that Manny came down from greatness to just being good, and even then, he was still better than the current champ. Barrios, on the other hand, looked confused. The awkward movement, the sneaky right jab, and the veteran tricks all left him struggling to make adjustments. He was gifted a lesson, not just a draw. Judges, however, didn't agree. And that's where the controversy peaked. Fans flooded X, formerly Twitter, slamming the result. One viral post claimed Manny outboxed Barrios in the worst way possible and that the fight was super rigged. Others pointed to how Manny landed the cleaner shots, entertained the crowd, and pushed the action, all the things that should have swayed the scorecards. Still, some gave Barrios credit for closing strong. In rounds 10 through 12, his bodywork improved and his urgency kicked in. One analyst admitted that Barrios may have done enough in the final 2 rounds to justify a draw on paper, but even then, he argued, Manny was still in control most of the fight. The outrage wasn't just from fans. Former fighters and respected journalists also weighed in. Most felt Manny had won at least 7 rounds.
Right, and
Okay.
then to 114.
I thought Manny won.
Close fight. I think Manny did a good job towards the end. Last round I gave it to Barrios, but the last
But
5
still,
rounds,
yeah,
the 12,
I had the
it
same
was-
way.
It was Manny Pacquiao. I thought Barrios was gonna take it, but you know, I don't know what happened.
Well,
Great job by Manny Pacquiao. Was 46 years old.
4 years old, 46. Look,
Yeah, I mean,
and you know
it's
boxing,
amazing.
so people can't say
Amazing,
that that you're biased or you're just a
No,
straight.
I think he did great. I mean,
I think
for
he
his
won.
age, you know.
Regardless.
He's not the Manny that we used to know, but you know,
All right.
thank God he didn't lose.
No, he didn't lose.
Yes.
It was close to Jeff Horn. He didn't lose. Bradley won. He didn't lose. And tonight he didn't lose.
Yes.
Even Barrios himself admitted Pacquiao's power was more than expected. Critics called for judging reform, pointing out how public perception continues to clash with official results. Fans questioned whether the credibility of the sport was once again in jeopardy. After all, how can a 46-year-old dominate large stretches of a fight against a reigning champion and not get the win? In the post-fight aftermath, even more voices joined the debate. Fernando Vargas praised Manny's spirit and skill, noting he gave everything he had. Others admitted it was a close bout, but still leaned Manny. And one fan bluntly said, Barrios didn't do enough. He fought scared. He didn't take it to Pacquiao. Then there's the lingering promise from Floyd Mayweather. Before the fight, Floyd said he'd consider a rematch if Manny won. Now, with a draw on the books, that
opponents have to face. And then all of a sudden, Manny just starts cooking. He's just like, and Freddie said it. Like, he has this good 6th round, and Freddie was just like, you get him with a 5-punch combination, I think you can get him out of here. Now, I don't know if he was ever at that point. I can't say that Barrios was ever really in danger, but I think Freddie was right. Like, I just think that if Manny showed the threat, I just think it froze Barrios for all these rounds. And so he had a run of like 4 straight. And at my point, he's up on the scorecards, 87-84, which meant all he needed was 1 more round in my mind. And I was pretty in line with the TV broadcast. I think that we had a little bit of a swing on 8. I think 8 was a little closer, or 9 was a little closer, excuse me. But all he needed was 1 more round. And and mind you, I bet on him, but I was like, you know, Barrios comes out in the 10th. His trainer's like, hey man, you can't respect this guy. And it's tough because Manny pulls these tricks like where he's like trying to delay coming out of the ring because his tape's messed up, or he's like messing with the guy saying, hey, you're hitting me low, and even the ref had to be like, Manny, I'll determine if he's hitting low. But he's so charming. You just look at him and you're like, I can't get mad at him. But Barrios comes down that 10th, has some really good body work, and you're like, all right, I think he took that one. So then it's 96-94. Get to the next round, Barrios. He has some that was the closest that you could have probably leaned Pacquiao, in my mind. But Barrios had some flurries. It just looked like he was getting better up. And it kind of looked like Manny was starting to wear down a little bit. It just looked like he didn't have... Because I think it's just at 46. I just don't think he has those combinations in him the same way. Super entertaining. Had the time of my life watching him because he didn't embarrass himself. And I know a lot of people, I think the vast majority of people think that he won. I think the reaction to everybody was like, Barrios, you couldn't mess with a 46-year-old? Like, Manny. They always say, like, oh, you got to beat the champ. It's a stupid thing. I hate that, but people believe in that. Oh, you got to take the belt. I think a lot of people thought of like, hey, you got to annihilate a 46-year-old or the 46-year-old should win.
Door feels uncertain, and the fanbase feels robbed. Regardless of the verdict, Manny Pacquiao proved one thing: he's not done. Not mentally. Not physically. Not spiritually. He fought like a warrior and reminded the world why he's one of boxing's greatest. Whether or not he gets the rematch or another title shot, this wasn't a sad farewell, it was a powerful statement. And maybe, just maybe, the legend still has one more chapter left to write. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel.